One of the former stars of Real Housewives of Orange County had a terrifying real-life drama unfold at her home. Elizabeth Vargas.
Not the reporter.
Not the reporter, as we were mistaken when we first saw the information coming in, but Elizabeth Vargas was at her home in Newport Beach when she called police to say that she was being extorted by an ex-boyfriend. Now, you can see police responded, SWAT teams, armored vehicles, guns were drawn as they surrounded the home, and an hours-long standoff ensued from this. Now, what this was all about is still very murky to us, but we know that we're being told Elizabeth was in the home, yet police are not saying this was a hostage situation.
And if they got a...
And that's,
the weird,
that's her in the white
weird
robe
thing that
there.
we're trying to figure out, because we're not getting answers from the police, is if she called and said, I'm being extorted, typically they don't send a SWAT team for that.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm told, guys, and here's where it's a little fuzzy. So she had made this call, said that she was getting extorted. What I'm told by a source close to her is police came to the house to take that report and get the information. Supposedly, while police were there doing that, this guy shows up and somehow is able to barricade himself inside her home. Now, what I'm told, this wasn't a hostage situation where it's, hey, she's tied up and she can't use her phone or whatever, but he was in the house and he did not want her to leave the house, or would not let her leave the house.
Well, if you wouldn't let,
if you wouldn't let her leave,
it's a hostage situation. So that's the problem. That's the problem here.
That's likely why they sent the SWAT team. It wasn't necessarily that she was tied up, but she wasn't able to leave.
But then it's a hostage situation,
yeah, I mean,
and we were
holding her against her will.
We were told by one of our producers, who I guess talked to the cops. They, correct me if I'm wrong here, they said she was not being held hostage.
That's what police said last night, and they have been totally silent since.
Yeah, this is confusing.
But obviously, I got to say, like, because the response for like you said, for an extortion call didn't make sense, but maybe that response wasn't the initial response. You know what I'm saying? Like, officers, like Brad said.
It wasn't the initial, the SWAT team wasn't the initial response. They had sent officers, I guess, for the extortion thing, and that's when this guy allegedly showed up.
So wait a minute, so they're saying they're at the house, and then while the police are at the house, he comes in and barricades himself?
That's what I was told by someone close to her last night.
Wow. Well,
I just think there's something here we don't.
Well, there's something about this ex-boyfriend that we don't know that prompted police to have such a response.
This is Josh from Colorado, and I'm very happy that Elizabeth is safe. But Bravo really dropped the ball when they let her go. Between the stuff happening on Beverly Hills and Salt Lake City, this is totally on brand for them. Come on, Andy.
Oh, my God. No, I don't think this was planned.
I know they like drama on the Real Housewives shows, but usually they don't like to have SWAT teams involved.
Right.